Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador for FENIX360, and I'm blessed to be joined today by the singer-songwriter Priyanka RA. Hello, Priyanka. How are you?
Hi, John. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great too. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm really looking forward to sharing your story, Priyanka, and also some of your artwork. I'd love to tune into your music at your YouTube channel. Okay, if we share with our audience your track, Spacecraft Burnout?
Absolutely, 100%.
I
Let's do
love.
it.
Okay, everyone, let's tune in now to Priyanka RA and Spacecraft Burnout.
Waking up on a transparent spacecraft, landing in a past reality. Yeah. Can't get out, and it is far from the window. All those who did me wrong in a circle of fire. I fall down to something, scream liar. Why am I in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004? Get me out of here, don't wanna see myself crying as my dad was out the door. I don't wanna see myself flinch every time my hand is in me. I don't wanna see myself freeze after I act out frustratedly. I don't wanna be in that house off the road, I don't wanna feel a stare anymore. If a child could throw the evil I out, she would. How come she could only see the bitch for what she is? No one else understood. In my spacecraft, I see it all again. She gives her help behind closed doors and the next like a friend. I scream, someone come help her, but my voice is filled in a vacuum. Waking up on a trans.
Wow, Priyanka, really amazing, and love sharing it with our audience, and looking forward now to learning about you. Can you tell me where you're from and how do you get involved in becoming a musical artist?
Well, John, I'm from the UK, but I'm based in Leicester, which is not a very well-known city. If you're based in the States, you might have not heard of Leicester before. It's in the Midlands, about 2 hours away from London. So yeah, that's where I'm from.
And listen, I love, learning about places around the world. And we always think of the UK, we do think of London. So it's nice to
Yes.
know that in suburbs or other cities in and around in the UK, art like yours is emerging. So let me ask this question then. How did you get involved in actually music? Were you self-taught, or did you actually get any education associated with it?
I've always sort of had a natural magnetic attraction towards music, I guess. When I was a child at school, music was my favorite subject. My music teacher knew that I could sing pretty instantly, and she put me forward for solos in musical shows. Then my love for it grew, and I started out singing covers from my favorite artists, including Alicia Keys, Rihanna, and I went to a recording studio, recorded a few covers. I still remember it to this day. I was about 13, 14, recorded Burned by Usher, Unfaithful by Rihanna. So I just loved the whole recording process. And then it got to maybe about 20. I was about 20 when I started writing my own material. I went through a mental health crisis. I was diagnosed with depression. I used to say, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with depression. I don't do that now, because when I started writing, I kind of unraveled things in my head, and I sort of put the puzzle together as to why I was feeling the way I was feeling, and wrote lyrics that were empowering and reassured me. And I just thought, hang on a minute, this could really benefit other people that have gone through depression, or everyone experiences sadness,
Yes.
and people that don't necessarily have depression or been diagnosed with depression can relate to my lyrics. So I say to myself, believe. How can I love anyone if I don't love myself? And I try and say to myself, I'm a force to be reckoned with. I need to carry on. There is a purpose. That's one of my very old lyrics in one of my songs that's on release. But I said I wanted to be a lot more serious about music, and if I want to sort of help people in their mental health journey, I need to sort of really be proactive and really sort of write and learn the process of how to sort of release professional music, you know, music that's being mixed, mastered. So I set myself the challenge of doing that in 2020. In 2020, we were all in lockdown, and I was writing and writing. And the track that you heard, Spacecraft Burnout, I wrote within probably a day. I was studying at the time. I went to law school and I finished studying that day, and I had a lot of pent-up emotions, and I just thought I need to write about my PTSD, which I was diagnosed with as well. And I said to myself, I don't need to hinder myself or feel like I'm weak because I've been diagnosed. I can use it as my power, because I can use my power of writing, my strength and my creativity to help other people that may be suffering. And I wrote down how I was feeling about being diagnosed with PTSD, how it felt to me, which was sort of being teleported to outer space. I felt like I was in my body, but I was out of space, so I was out of Earth. A lot of people describe it as an out-of-body experience. I still remember everything I did, or everything I thought when I was diagnosed, and the pain and the turmoil that came with it. So I was in my body, but it did feel like no one could understand me. I felt like an alien, very alienated from my friends and family, and in self-destruct mode. I felt like there was this inner fire within me that it was like a conflagration. It was spiraling out of control. I had to take time out of my my studies, so I had to pause my law degree for a while, and then I wrote that in 2020, recorded it in 2021, and released it at the end of 2021. So it was sort of a timely process, but I felt like I needed to go through that to get to the release, and the release was really beautiful. I felt ready, I felt empowered, and I was in a good place.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I mean, what a journey. And thank you so much for sharing it. It's so authentic and honest and cool to know that you've taken these challenges that are very painful, and this self-experiencing and going through this states of depression where you feel so separated from everyone else and so different, and also your own psyche punishes you in a way for not being like you think you should be, or and so right then. But I will say that you've taken that and now created and recognized that there are certain aspects of your power that come from these dark aspects of ourselves, and you've translated them into art forms that are so relatable as far as the lyrics, the lyrical content, but also in the imagery that you've created as well. You know what I mean? In terms of your spacecraft burnout. And because there are so many times, I think, when others of us experience this feeling of separateness, and, you know, why am I so weird? And like, you know, how come can't do it? And everyone else seems like they can. And all of those feelings are really true, like it happens. But I think in a way, it's like, you know, we have to in some way recognize that actually everything that we do love on the outside is what we are also on the inside. And so you deserve to have that love. You know what I mean? You are love.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so thank you for sharing your heart and your work with everyone. And it will make impactful inroads into people who go, I get her. And I'm so glad I feel that way too. And now I can find my power. and that's really what it's about. So thanks so much for that, Priyanka RA. Wow. So let me ask this question now. That's 2020, the pandemic happened. You had this opportunity to internalize. What are you breaking out with now?
Well, John, I released a single in December, so around about 3 months ago now. I've been really busy recording other material, sending it to my engineer, getting it really sort of polished up. That's what I've been busy with. I've got another single coming out in April, so exciting times. It's called Hurting and Healing. I really sort of don't want to sort of pause too long before I release other music. I've got things in the pipeline which is kind of keeping me focused, and really sort of is a reason to wake up every single day knowing that my music could potentially reach so many people who feel really low, feel really down the way I did. And if they listen to me, if they really resonate with what I'm talking about, that's my job done. That's really, really why I want to keep pursuing music, keep making music. And yeah, so really exciting times on the horizon. With Hurting and Healing, I really sort of talk about that. I say, even though we're hurting, it doesn't mean we're not healing. I have days where life is just so hard. It's so hard to just do basic tasks. You feel overwhelmed, things may happen, people may say something that really triggers you, and it kind of makes you sort of want to go back in your shell. It happened to me when I took time out of university. I had members of my family say, why have you taken time out? I referenced that in the song, and I can't really tell them exactly how I am and why I was diagnosed with PTSD or why I have it, because it's personal. I only tell people that I really trust, and it's really hard to put yourself out there. But with music, I have this belief that if I show my vulnerability, if I show others and sort of shine a light on issues that may not necessarily be really talked about in music, in other sort of dialogues as well, it would really help. So that's in essence why I do it.
Well, listen, knowing your why is really important, right? And you know it. You know why you're doing it. And you know what I mean? And it's self-therapeutic, as well as providing that same kind of therapeutic energy, to others that would experience it from you. Your unique frequency, which is divine. And so we really appreciate meeting with you, learning your story, and thank you so much for sharing it. And we're looking forward to following your progress, not only on the social media links that we'll post below our interview today, but also look for you rising on FENIX360. And so you just keep your site, lively, whenever you drop your new, April gig, you're going to update us as well on FENIX360.
Sure.
I'm so glad that, we had a chance to meet today, Priyanka RA. It's really my pleasure.
Thanks so much, John. Thanks for having me. It was great. I enjoyed myself with this interview.
All right, everybody, tune into those channels below for Priyanka RA and look for her on FENIX360. Bless you, my dear. Take care.
Transparent spacecraft.